Hi guys, and welcome back to the live stream. Hello Blob, how are you doing today? Hope you're good. Hello Ethan, good to see you mate. Sorry about Tuesday guys, but I just had a really sore throat. Still a little sore today. On Tuesday I thought, there's no way I can talk for 2 hours with my throat the way it is. We'll probably be able to get through it tonight though. And hopefully the internet will also be kind to us tonight. I know there were a few problems last time with the internet. Tested it and it all looks good, and so far stream is looking very, very healthy. Good to see you all guys. I live in Woking, or just outside Woking in England. Blob, where are you from? Ethan, what have you been up to? Are you busy mate? And so, what have we got here? What have we got here today? Got a couple of games coming up today. We're going to be playing Blackburn and Sunderland. Neither of those games are going to be particularly easy. Sunderland in 6th and Blackburn in 9th. And I'm just wondering, are we going to get the curse of FM? We've been on a very good run and I've switched off the computer and now we're going to switch it back on. Is the dice going to re-roll itself and we're going to go and lose 2 fixtures because we've turned the computer off? I don't know. Some people believe in that curse. I don't know. I still think the jury's still out. Those scout from those players on Saturday said are good players. Yeah. You're from Rochdale. Rochdale is in Lancashire, I believe, isn't it? Not far from where I was born. I was born in Warrington. So I'm guessing Rochdale is Lancashire, so probably not far from where I was born, although my geography isn't top rate. I know things about things, but not about geography. And today I thought I would actually, because I know I haven't been doing it. I've just been doing it in my head and not sharing it. And I'm putting together a series of, Greater Manchester. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Used to be Lancashire. Yeah. I was born in Warrington, which is not so far away from you in that part of the world. Didn't stay there long though. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I know that I've been doing it in my head, but I've not been sharing it with you. And I notice so often, and I watch people play the game myself, various people. And when it comes to substitutions, what they're doing is they do something like, oh, he's a bit tired. Yep, need to take him off. Oh, my left back's really tired. We need to take him off. He's not having a very good game, so we'll take him off. And they end up taking random players off from all over the pitch, and there doesn't seem to be any system to what they're doing. Now, Alex Ferguson never did that. Alex Ferguson was probably one of the best exponents of substitutions that I've ever seen, and substitutions were actually part of his game plan, and he would prepare in advance for things that he might have to do. And so one of the things I do want to do, I think, is to move, if I can. This is still so bad. If you can get him to sit in there. Can I get him to sit in the middle? Oh, it's so hard to do this, isn't it? Yeah. So I want to move him over to the middle, and one of the reasons for doing that is when I check the pass maps in a minute, he might be just slightly over to the left with the left winger, and they're just compressing this area of the field too much, and he's not able to link up with players on the right hand side. So I'm going to check the pass maps in a little bit, because we've played 3 games or 4 games with this system now, and we'll have a look at the pass map to see how, if he's not compressing the pitch over here, getting in the way of Zuri, then we can move him back. But I know for Benfica that the forward tends to drift over here, which does leave big gaps here, and I don't want those gaps to be appearing, so we'll put him central for now. We check the pass maps. So looking at, if we go and look at substitutions that you're going to have to immediately look at, and I always go to the scout report first, have a look at their scout report, see what they're good at. And one of the things that... Stream gone off? Oh no, we're back. And one of the things that I'm actually going to look at is stamina. Because there are two things that are really important when it comes to substitutions. Well, there's more than two. One of them is stamina. And so if I look down here, stamina is not listed in either section. So I'm guessing they have an average stamina. It's neither good nor bad. And if I go to have a look at my team and have a look at my stamina, we select all positions and then go to physicals, stamina. We're pretty good. We are 8th in we're 8th in the league, and so pretty good in stamina. However, I do know somewhere that there is a way to compare you against the opposition. Now, I cannot for the life of me find it. I don't know where they've put this, but there is a way to check you against the opponent that's coming up, and to check their level of stamina against yours. So I can't find it though. I've been looking for it for a while. It used to be here, and I'm wondering have they taken it out. And you can see whether or not they have more stamina than you or less stamina than you. Let's assume that it's about the same. We're both around about average, possibly. Why is yeah, I think I said to you, Ethan, that probably the best thing to do now is to sell De Gea. He's not a modern type goalkeeper. He's a shot stopper, and that's not what's required in the Premier League. And he'll probably do well in other leagues for other teams where it's not important to be good with your feet. So probably it wouldn't be a bad idea to sell him. It's unfortunately plenty of good goalkeepers out there who can play the modern Premier League way. And who knows, it might be better just to say probably enough now. But going back to stamina, we kind of can guess then that their stamina is around about average, the same as ours. And why is it important? Because it's important because if I'm 1-0 up or 2-0 up, I want to react to their substitutions and not to substitute my players first. So if I've got much better stamina than they have, or if they are more tired as we get towards the end of the game, I'm going to wait until they make their substitutions. But if I'm not winning, then I'm going to have to make my substitutions at the time I want to make them, regardless of whether they've made theirs. And that then, if we look at my squad, we have to think, my tactics, we have to think about where issues might arise, because stamina doesn't just affect a player's ability to run up and down the touchline or to cover the distance in midfield. It affects that, of course. If players are going to get tired over 90 minutes, and if you've got low stamina, then you are not going to be able to do the hard yards, as it were. But also, if you have a poor work rate and your determination is low, then that is going to affect how a player plays. So if we look at, guys, our team in terms of their stamina, we can see that we have 15 stamina with Kirkin. He could probably do 90 minutes without any problems whatsoever. Lowton has only 11 stamina, so he might be an issue later on in the game. And the reason that he might be an issue is because stamina affects your mentals as well. So you've got to think about, it's going to affect your anticipation, it's going to affect your concentration in particular, and your ability to make decisions. But we know that Lowton is pretty good in those areas. He's got good composure, he's got good concentration, good anticipation-ish for this level, and he's got decent decision-making. He's also got a very good work rate. And one of the interesting things would be to have a look at his personality. and he has no real opinion of me. So he's kind of like, if I shout at him and demand more, he may not listen. He doesn't really have that respect for me. And this is something that I've known for these Burnley team for a while. They don't yet have that respect that if I demand more of someone, he's not necessarily going to give it. But he might, because he does have good determination, but he does have low stamina, so he is a worry. At centre-back, we have 13 stamina for Bayer, it's not brilliant, and 12 stamina for McNally. That isn't brilliant either. And so we have to think about defensively, then if we are just a goal up and hanging on, we may need to bring fresh legs on in terms of our defensive personnel. Bastian, he has stamina of 13, so he's like one of those average players, and we might need to possibly substitute him at some point. His anticipation is 13, concentration is 12. I'm looking for players with low concentration, really. And Westwood, he has decent stamina, but he has good anticipation, very good anticipation, good concentration, good decisions, and he's got good work rate. If I check his happiness, appreciates your position as a manager. It's not perfect, but if I shout at him and demand more, he's likely to give me more. But so I'm looking at the midfield. They possibly could see the game out. Bastian, maybe not. Brownhill, he has stamina of 16. He'll see the game out. I don't have any worries at all about him playing 90 minutes and being able to play 90 minutes well. Twine, 13 stamina is about average. Could be a problem, but his concentration is 12. Composure, 14. Decision making is good. Determination's a little on the low side, and work rate is good. So he could probably last 90 minutes quite easily. Zaori, he has stamina of 11. He's got low stamina, so he might be a problem. He might be a problem because he's in a support duty, and if his mentals go as well as his physicals, he could make a mistake. And when players are tired and they're not focused, then he could be an issue at the end of this game, because he could make a mistake that leads to a goal. And Campbell up top, he's got good stamina. He has concentration is okay, not brilliant, and he has work rate is okay. His decisions are okay. Unlikely that you should need to substitute your forward, because he's really not that involved in doing the hard yards. So it's the midfield and the flanks that you really need to look at. These guys don't run around a lot, except if they're under pressure. They're likely to get tired if they're under pressure, but if we are doing all the attacking, they're not likely to get that tired. So it's identifying who you might have to substitute, but it goes deeper than that. Because if we look at, let's have a look at Blackburn. Let's go back to have a look at Blackburn. And we'll have a look at their last game. Not tactics, schedule. And they beat Reading by 2-0. And let's have a look at where their focus of attack is. Reading, so Blackburn are the white. There isn't a white. So I guess Reading are black. These are the black dots. So Reading, Blackburn, who were playing, focus of attack was mainly down the left-hand side. Bit of it on the right, but mainly down our left-hand side. So if we go back and have a look at our players on the left-hand side, Kirkin, very good stamina. We shouldn't really have a problem with him. He should be able to get through the 90 minutes and not lose focus, and not his mentals being affected. Forgot Sancho existed. That's not very good, Ethan. That's not very nice. Oh, that's Blob, is it? Sancho. Oh my God. He's got such potential, Sancho, but it's not shown it. Just not shown it. It reminds me a little bit of Mkhitaryan, who had so much skill, so much potential, and never actually showed it at Man United. And now he's gone to Italy. He's starting to show the potential that he had. Sancho reminds me a little bit of him. So Kirkin will be okay. The other player on the left is Zauri. So if they are going to focus their attacks down the right, Zauri is going to get tired. And so we have to be aware that we might have to substitute him. In fact, we probably will have to substitute Zauri. And so I need someone who can come on and do a very good job on that left-hand side. Right-hand side, Brownhill, we know, has super stamina, and Loughton is not that great. So there's two players we've identified who might be a problem, and that's Zauri and Loughton. So that's like planning your substitution before you actually go into the game, and then making sure that you have adequate cover. And do I have a fullback on the bench that can come on here if necessary, and making sure you've got that covered. And I do have plenty of players who can play at defender right, at the right back. So we should be okay. Maybe I could do with putting Callum Roberts on there, but he's still injured and he's not going to be fit enough. But we've got two, Kevin Long and Harwood Bellis, who could come on and shore up that if necessary. Substitutions then are also about, are you winning or are you losing? If we are losing and I'm chasing a goal, is there really much point in substituting him? If I want him to go attacking, maybe. But if I'm just going to have him sit in a support duty, do I really need to substitute him? If I'm attacking, I probably will need to replace at least him, Scott Twine, and possibly Campbell. So if I want to hold on to a lead, then I'm looking at, who do I need to replace down here to bring fresh legs on and have fresh concentration? It's really about their mentals and not being responsible for making mistakes. So we do have a kind of knowledge now of where I need to be focusing in terms of what my substitutions might be. But let's go back and have a look at Blackburn. Now that we know that, we can go and have a look at what they're actually made of. What are they good at? And what are they not so good at? And if we start again with the scout report, there's a lot of things they are good at. They're very brave. They are good in the air. Good sense of teamwork. They make good decisions. They're good on one-on-ones. So there's a lot of good things about them. They're also not very good at dribbling, so that means that we can close them down. They're not good at tackling, so we could probably get stuck in. We can have them crossing. It's not a big deal. They're not very good at crossing, and they don't have much pace. And so all that tells me is that we need to... Oops, wrong one. We need to play with a high line. We'll play with a high press, high defensive line. We can press them, so we can get in their face a little bit. Get stuck in. They're very brave. It's probably not a good idea to get stuck in. They're not going to shy away from it. Stop the crosses. It's something that we like to do, so we might as well do that. In terms of in transition, we do want to counter press. They're not great at dribbling. They're not going to skip past us. Passing wasn't mentioned as a great strength, so we should be able to press them without any problem whatsoever. I don't want to slow the pace down at all, and we should be able to play from the back, and that should be something that we're good at now. I'm going to reduce the tempo because we upped it for the last game, so we're going to bring it back to what we were doing before. Work the ball into the box, play for set pieces, and as they're not, I think I read that they're not very good at tackling. Tackling is something that goes with strength, and it's kind of not mentioned. Strength is not mentioned. So at the moment, I'm not going to ask them to dribble more. I just want them to pass the ball around at the moment. So in terms of their team report, I think we shouldn't have any worries about them. But go to the data hub. Well, first off, I want to have a look at our last game and look at our passes for the last game. And Scott Twine, you see how Scott Twine has gone into the centre, and Therese Campbell is over here on the left. And that means there's very little link up between the front three. And hopefully by moving Campbell over to the centre, it pushes Twine over this way, and we'll have a better looking shape up front. And this might be part of the issue, is that these three are not linking up very well, and if we push Campbell further over to the middle, that pushes Twine over to the right hand side, and then hopefully we can address that. They're able to link up better. But now let's have a look at basically, they're going to play a vertical tiki-taka. It's the same as what we play. They are playing well. They played very well in their last game. Britton is a creative defender as a wing back. I think he's probably going to play as a wing back on attack. So we have to be aware of Britton. Creative forwards, Bertrand Diaz. I know about him. He's a very good player, and he is a creative forward rather than an advanced forward type. Does dribble a lot, and he is assisting more than he's actually scoring. So he's a very creative forward, and so perhaps we need to keep an eye on him. So in terms of that, I don't really think there's anything that jumps out from... let's go to performance. Does anything actually jump out? Not particularly. They do most of their defensive actions in their penalty area. Might mean that they're under pressure a lot. They are poor tacklers, we know that. In terms of crossing, they're fairly accurate, in fact, with their crossing. So we do want to stop the crosses. And they're not very aggressive in terms of their shooting, but quite clinical when they do. Shooting is good. Their finishing isn't bad. They attempt most of their passes from the middle third. So they're going to play a high line. And we're going to try and match that. Possession gained is mostly in their own half. A lot of possession in their own box. And yeah, Bertrand Diaz, Ethan, I know about him. He's a good player. And then they also gain a lot of possession from near the halfway line. What we need to do is control possession. That's the key to this game. They do lose possession in this area of the pitch quite often. That's why I want a high line so that we can use our defenders. Our midfield would not be able to cope on their own in that area. So we want to play with a high line so our defenders are involved in that. And in terms of their last match, let's go to their last match. We'll find that in the... Where will we find that? We'll find that in their schedule. And we'll find out a little bit more about their pass map. And their heat map is very much over to the left-hand side. There's a lot of stuff going on in the wings and very little going on in the middle. How did they line up? Interestingly, how did they line up? Yeah, they. It's most of it is through these fullbacks then, because there's a lot of stuff going on out here and out here, and very little happening through the middle of the park. So interesting style that they play. Both wings tending to be used quite a bit. So in terms of their pass combinations, you can see it's all wings. So that tells me I should be focusing my play up the middle. We could dominate this area. Bayer would be a good signing. I don't know though, because I don't have any money at the moment, Ether. And I actually don't know Ethan. I think I'd like to sign him. I think he's a good player. I'd like to sign Harwood Bellis as well. Both good players. And that's probably one of the strongest areas of my team, is at central defence. That's why we're doing so well, I think. And I mean, yeah, Blob, I think they do. And I think that they make a big thing of rivalries and derbies. And I think they do get fired up. And I've seen players in team talks in the Benfica team actually become aggressive in the team talk, especially when I'm playing Sporting. When Benfica plays Sporting and I do the team talk, some players become very aggressive. And I think they do get riled up. So yeah, I think it depends also on the team's level of aggression as well. And the Benfica team are quite an aggressive team. So yeah, I have seen players in the dressing room get more aggressive. This is going to be a derby. We'll see. Let's check. Let's go to our comparison. Let's go to the comparison and check our level of aggression. So all positions, mentals, where's aggression? We're fairly aggressive, but I wouldn't say that we're very aggressive. So I wouldn't expect, if it was up here maybe, then I'd expect to see some players getting wound up in the dressing room. Because I do believe, yeah, they do actually do get wound up before a big derby match. I don't want to play cautious. My assistant manager, I think he needs to go. He's not very brave, my assistant manager. I'm not going to go positive or attacking in this game, but we want to make sure we're in the game, and we want to control possession, and we want to play through the middle. I want to keep it away from their flanks as much as I possibly can. And so they are very, very tired. And they have a central defender who's tired. They have a wing back on the right who's tired, which is interesting. And we identified Zauri as a weak link. They have a centre mid or defensive centre mid who's very tired. And so they are a little more tired than we are. And yeah, I don't know why he wants me to play cautious or defensive when we should be winning these games. I'm really not quite sure why. This guy is already tired. And I just have this feeling we should close him down, put pressure on him. And I'm going to ask my striker to close him down, put pressure on him. And I don't want to do anything with their feet. I really don't want them playing the outside centre-backs playing to the wing-backs. I want to cut that out, so I'm going to ask him to actually we're going to direct him to put the ball on his right foot. So if we actually press him from that angle, he has to pass this way. I don't want them. We know their pass map was this shape. So I don't want him passing to Pickering. So I'm going to turn him onto his right foot and make him pass that way or back to the goalkeeper. And then the other centre, defensive centre, don't want him passing this way. I want him going this way. So we're going to put him on his left foot so that he has to pass it this way or back to the goalkeeper. And that way, hopefully, we break up this little pattern that they had going where they were playing out to the fullbacks. They're comfortable doing that, so let's make them uncomfortable. And therefore, this geezer here, who doesn't have much pace, let's just pressurize him as well. So we'll have, hopefully, our winger, Zauri, if he can, putting pressure on him so that he can't get the ball out wide to the fullback. I don't know if Zauri's capable of doing that. It's going to be a gamble. The wing-backs, we have to certainly make sure that they are tight marked. They're the focus of what they do. So we're going to tight mark their wing-backs, and we're going to hard tackle them and turn them onto their weaker foot. So in this case, it's the left foot. So I want the wing-backs tight marked, left foot, and hard tackle him. So if we're closing these guys down and also tight marking these two, their pass map from last week, which was successful, is already screwed. So they can't do that. They're going to have to find another way. Harry Pickering is also a very good player. He doesn't have very much pace, though. Poor right foot. And we can hard tackle him. We're going to do exactly the same with him. We're going to, Harry Pickering, we're going to tight mark him, hard tackle him. And, oops, not soft tackle him. Hard tackle him and turn him onto his right foot. So these guys are hopefully tied up. Now what we've got is that if they can't do this pretty passing, the only option they've got is to pass through the middle. And so one of the things that we are going to do is close down the midfield. And we're going to hard tackle, close him down, and we're going to turn him onto his left foot. So hard tackle, close him down, and left foot. So they're going to have problems getting the ball to him now, and especially he is tired anyway to begin with, and his concentration might not be so good. Travis, if we have a look at Travis, doesn't have the greatest pace and has a decent left foot. We may not want to do anything with him, and he's quite brave. So we're just going to close him down. Just take that away as an option. So now that they can neither play out there, and it's going to be difficult for them to play out there. In terms of the forwards now shouldn't actually cause us any problems. If they're not going to get the ball, they can't cause us any problems. But I do want to make sure that this guy doesn't cause us any problems. He's not that great. We're going to hard tackle him and tight mark him. And one of my centre-backs will probably be able to do that job very nicely. Or Bayek could do that job. And we will hard tackle him. So Harry Leonard is looked after. This guy Gallagher is probably going to be a deep lying forward, a bit of a creative forward. So we want to have a look at his passing isn't great, his vision isn't great. He's probably going to be maybe a target forward. He's going to be holding up the ball. He's 6'4". I don't want to get too close to him. So I just want to... Yeah, it's a huge jumping reach. So I want to turn him onto his left foot. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do with Gallagher. I don't want to get too close to him. And with that in mind, I do need to check that we have someone on cover. Because if he's going to be nodding the ball on, I want someone anticipating. So Bayer has anticipation of 12. That's not good enough for me. But again, McNally only 12. One of those has to be on cover. So I'm going to put McNally on cover. He doesn't like playing cover. Can Bayer do it? Bayer can cover. Put him as a central defender on cover. So Gallagher was on that side. So I will put Bayer as a centre defender. That should then hopefully account for the flick-ons that might happen. He is probably going to play as a target forward on support. And then Jack Vale is going to be an advanced forward or a poacher probably. Looking at his attributes, probably a poacher. He's not the best poacher I've ever seen. Composure isn't good. Concentration's poor. He's not very brave. And he's not great in the air for a poacher. He's not an advanced forward. He doesn't have the dribbling skills. Could be playing as an advanced forward because he has good passing skills. But I think he's not that dangerous. So I'm just going to type mark him. Just get one of my centre-backs to type mark him. And hopefully that nullifies him. So we're going to make sure they can't play pretty patterns here. And then when they try to go through the middle, I'm going to get my guys in the middle to stop them doing that as well. Hopefully that is disruptive enough. And we have prepared as best as we can. Let's go to the game. James McAtee. Yeah, he's a decent player, Ethan. Very decent player. Burnley in real life, I'm really not quite sure what's actually happening with them. And I'm going to say that I'm going to go with the assistant. He's generally quite good at these things, and go out and make me proud. I don't know why I'm saying that, because they don't have that great relationship with me. But we'll say it anyway. And the game is underway. And hopefully the game plan now will work. All we've got to worry about is substitutions later on. And then substitutions will come into play depending on how the game has gone. And I think Bastian has been taken out there. And I wonder why he's showing a yellow card. Maybe we should wind him up. And whoever that player is, wind him up a little bit. This is a game we should win, I think. We're fitter and we're in better condition and we're a better team, I think. And it's just about finishing again. Can we score goals? And has the FM curse set itself off again? And corner into the box is headed out. And here is Brownhill, needs to get it into the box, looks behind, looks for Kirkin. Kirkin gets it into the box. We don't have big players in the air, but we are offside, and that is a free kick. Started the game well. Down the right-hand side is where Blackburn have focused their play. Does mean that we are stopping them on the left-hand side, but not on the right. You can see that we have forced them to go up the middle now. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to disrupt the wing-backs, but I didn't want to give the ball away like that. And, giving the ball away is not an option. And here they come, and that's poor. Their finishing was poor there. But it is going to be a corner. Ryan Kent is a very good winger, I think. I'm having a problem with the Zealand skin in terms of these little hearts at the bottom don't work. That's the only problem I'm having with the Zealand skin, and not having much problem other than that. And at the moment, it's fairly even Stevens here. We're dominating possession as I thought we would. We have 70% of the possession. We just at the moment want to take the wind out of them, and the tireder they get, the more vulnerable they are to making mistakes. After half-time, I will probably go much more positive, even attacking, because they will have taken the wind out of them by then. I think I can probably wait to do my substitutions. That wasn't great. I'm actually going to tell them to dribble less. I don't want them dribbling. Let's play the ball around at pace, because they are struggling for fitness. So I don't want them running at it. We want the ball to do the work. And again, long punt forward. We should win that, but it's given away. We don't actually look very good at the moment. I'm not very happy, and they have almost scored, but he was offside. I need to shout at them a little bit. They need to be told this isn't good enough. Blackburn have actually created far more chances than we have. This is the issue with Burnley. We don't create enough, and then we don't score when we have them. And that is a big problem for Burnley. And I've really struggled to keep this team where they are. We've had to grind out results. We've had to change the way we're playing so often to grind out a result. But we are coming more into the game now, and that's nice. Brownhill, he needs to get it into the box. It's a chance. It's not taken again. And Loughton gets it back into the box, finds Brownhill. Come on, game. You can't just punish me forever in terms of finishing. We do have better finishers now. And the game is still going on. We are still better in possession. We're having the highlights. They've created the better chances, even though we're better in possession. We do have another chance. That's a weak shot. I don't know who that was. And I think it's all a bit frantic myself. So I'm going to ask them to just slow it down a little bit. Be less direct now. It's all a bit frantic. Good cross into the box. We don't have anyone in the air. And it's come out to Loughton. Loughton, can you get a low cross into the box? No, he can't. Looks behind for Bastian. Missing Bayek today. Bayek is a little bit tired. Needed to rest. He might have to come on second half. And Campbell with a header from 18 yards. That's not going to trouble anyone. And it's not looking good at the moment. And again, we're playing against a tired team who are actually beating us, really. And we should be able to overcome tired teams. And we still got 70% of the possession, but still we can't get that goal that we need. Norwich are losing, so we really do need to win this game, because with Norwich losing, we could go to within 2 points of Norwich. Good claim by the goalkeeper. Now, let's build from the back. And maybe that's something I need to take away at some point. Let's get the ball forward. Let's not bother about building from the back. Let's not bother about passing. Let's just get the ball forward. If they're tired later on, we'll just get the ball forward. Try and make them make a mistake. This isn't working at all. At the moment, we need to get our foot in as well. That was terrible. We are just simply not good enough at the moment. And despite all our possession, they are the most creative of the two teams. And it's not looking very good. What else can I try? Their focus of attack now, I have moved that down to the centre. But they are tired on the flanks. They're very tired on the flanks. Both flanks. I'm going to ask my players to focus down the right, because they are very, very tired there. And I'm going to get them to play a little bit more direct. Just try to play a little bit more direct. Short passing. As much possession that we've had is not working. I don't want to specifically mark him with the players that I've got out on the pitch. We're doing okay. 0-0 though is not enough, especially with Norwich losing. We need to win this. We need to take advantage of them losing. Again, it's all Blackburn. They just look so much better than us at creating chances, and yet they've had so little of the ball. And why can we not create chances? It's so frustrating, this save. Campbell is having a poor game, but that might be to do with him being isolated, that we're not getting forward enough, and maybe we need to have some changes of role at half-time. We do need to swing this into the box if we can. We're not getting the ball into the box early. It's all very laboured. It all looks very laboured, very tired. Passing, miles offside, Campbell. Miles offside. He was a street and a half offside then, but at least getting into a position. I don't need to see that again. He was miles offside. Oh, come on, boys. 0-0 is not enough. especially with Norwich on this really poor run of form. Twine, that's a lovely ball. I've been waiting for you to do something like that, but we can't get it into the box. Creativity for this Burnley team is terrible. They really are not creating very good chances at all. And there's another chance, and we can't finish it either. So frustrating, this Burnley team. So frustrating. I am not going. I'm going to be saying I'm far from pleased. We should be winning this, and in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to go more positive. We have to go to a positive mentality now. I'm going to put most of their attacks were down the right hand side. I'm going to put Loughton on attack now, and I think it's probably time to put Cullen as a centre. No, we can't really do that. He needs to be on a support duty. What else can I do? Why is it so laboured? Let's try hitting early crosses and take out play for set pieces. So let's go for it. Let's see if those changes work. We should be able to wait to do our substitutions. They should be a lot more tired than we are. Campbell's having a poor game, but he's always likely to do something if we can get the ball to him. And that should be bread and butter for Bayer, which it is. And we've cleared that up. But it's still Blackburn, an exhausted team. Again, I don't know how to beat exhausted teams. That is terrible. Into the box. I just feel like Blackburn are going to score any minute. It just feels that way. It doesn't look like we are putting enough pressure on this team. And I'm wondering about our press. Is our press working? I'm going to come off the press. Let's come off the press and let the individuals do it with the trigger press. Again, acres of space. Nice work, though, at the back, but it's come out again. Acres of space. We're just giving them space. And I don't know why. I haven't instructed anyone to give them space. Now let's just see what happens. We've made a few changes again. Westwood has taken a knock now. So I do have to do something about Westwood. And let's put Bastian up here and bring on Bayek. He can run around a little bit. And that's the only change that I want to make at the moment. Only 50 minutes gone. We've got to do better. Good header. Campbell loses possession, but we've won it back. Cookham, what's he doing in the middle of the pitch? And here is Twine. Twine has a chance. It's gone in somehow. It's gone in. I don't know how he managed to sneak that over the line. Somehow. No, I'm not asking them to be more disciplined. I'm not asking them to be more expressive either. They're not creative enough. They don't have enough flair to be more expressive. As a squad, they're, in terms of creativity, they're just average. They're not brilliant. And I'm now going to go back to a balanced approach. And I'm going to put Loughton back on a support duty. I want to hold on to this lead now. And it becomes like what I was saying about substitutions. It's not now about changing my forward players. It's about making sure that we follow the substitutions that they do and make sure I have fresh legs, which will enable us to hold on to this 1-0. We don't look like we're going to go on and pummel them from this point on. So it's a case of holding on now to this lead rather than trying to build on it. If we can get another one, great. It doesn't matter, though. I'll take a 1-0. So substitutions are very, very important now. As Brownhill, chance! And he couldn't even put that in. Oh, my goodness me. We do know their goalkeeper's playing quite well, but that was that was like a chance my grandmother could have taken. And my grandmother's in the grave, so she'd have had a bit of trouble with it, but probably still would have scored. Probably just lie there and it hits her. And it comes out again. Bastion. We're playing a little bit better now, and that might be an indication that they have got very tired. I'm keeping an eye out for substitutions. They have made a substitution, so let's go and deal with that. And they have brought on Therese Dolan at attacking mid. Well, I've already brought on fresh legs at DLP, so Bayek should be able to do that. They haven't done anything else as yet. So this guy, we don't want to be tight marking him because he's got that acceleration that might cause us problems. His composure isn't great. We're going to close him down. Although he has very good dribbling. It might actually be better to actually get close to him. So we'll tight mark him and turn him onto his left foot. And pretty much the same as we asked the others to do. What's his bravery like? He's pretty brave. He's not very strong. Let's hard tackle him as well. And we'll welcome him to the game. Bayek is a very good tackler. He can say hello to him. So I'm going to hold off on more substitutions until they make another couple of substitutions. We are still much fitter than them. And Gallagher is causing some problems, is he? Well, let's see how much of a problem he is. He's not causing us far too many problems. In fact, he's not really a problem at all. So let's now, at 70 minutes, they're still not making... Yeah, they've made substitutions now. So I can now go and react to the substitutions that they've made. They've brought on a defensive centre mid. They have brought on a centre back. And Hayden Carter, we want to turn him onto his right foot. Since I'm not counter-pressing now, we don't want to turn them onto their feet. So we can bring that off. We can bring off the closing down of the centre backs, because we now are just trying to hold on to this 1-0. So Hayden Carter, we don't want to do anything with him. Yeah, we do want to play him onto his right foot. We want him playing the ball across the line. Dolan, we've already dealt with him. We have Bayek as fresh legs. We may need to change the centre back because they've brought on a forward who is... He's not very pacey, but he's good in the air. Looking at these Mentos... We are in danger of making a mistake at the back, so we might need to bring on a centre-back. We're aware that Zauri is an issue. George Hurst, so we will type mark him. Just type mark him. Hayden Carter. Jake Garrett in midfield has come on. We will close him down and turn him onto his right foot. So we've pretty much got them covered now. They have left one on the bench. So what I need to do is, where they have made their changes, is make mine. They've left the right alone. Britain is still on, so they've left their wing back right on. He's very tired, and we do know that we are good. Kirkin is tired, so we will need to change him. So we will bring Matson on, and he can take care of the right hand side. The left hand side, Lowton is not so tired. He has good stamina, so we don't need to do anything here. And that's why it's showing he's not so tired. But we do want to make sure that in central defence, I'm going to bring on Harwood Bellis for Bayer. And just make sure that we've got fresh legs in here because they've brought on a striker. And then they've made a change in midfield, so we'll go along with that. And I'll bring Cullen on for Bastian, who is struggling. So we've got fresh legs in midfield as well. And now hopefully we should be able to hold on to this game. We've covered where they have brought on fresh legs. We've got that covered. Twine has hit the bar from about 35 yards there. Oh my lord. He has got a good free kick on him. He's yet to actually score one. But Sam Gallagher's okay. He's going on about Sam Gallagher quite a lot. He's being allowed too many free headers now. Well, he is 6'4". I don't have anybody big enough to type mark him, so I don't know. And he wants my small fullback to mark him. I think we've got them beat. They are tired. McNally is tired now. I want to make sure defensively that I am fresh. That McNally is so tired, he is a risk of making mistakes. He's very, very tired. I have one more substitution left. And who do I have on the bench? I've got Kevin Long on the bench. And I can... Now I've got 3 fresh players at the back who shouldn't be making mistakes. We should now be able to see this game out. We're not attacking them too much. We've got a very balanced approach to it. We are in control of the game. And I think what I will tell them to do now is just to put their foot on it. We're going to change back. We're going to put our foot on it. We're going to work the ball into the box. And we'll leave that as it is. And we don't need to do anything with this. We will just slow everything down now. What are Norwich doing? Norwich are still losing. Let's slow it down even further now. Let's go for a little bit of time wasting. Be more disciplined. We're going to regroup when we lose possession. And we're going to go into a mid-block. And that should slow everything down now. They're going to probably try to get balls over the top. If we're in a mid-block, it's going to be harder for them to do that. And there we go. That's created space at the back. Twine is in. Can't score, though. Twine is really having a poor time at the moment. I believe in him. I think he's a very good player. And eventually he's going to come into some smashing form. And we should be able to see this game out now. That is game management. That is how you manage a game. And let's just see it out, boys. Let's just don't do anything silly. See the game out. Bayek with a cross into the box. I think he's been a big miss today. And we're finishing the game stronger as we should be. And just need to just relax. Don't do anything silly. Don't give a goal away now. Nice work. Zauri, who was a risk, we identified at the beginning of the game, but then became not a risk because they didn't change the fullback. And so it wasn't a risk that we needed to make a substitution. I'm just going to go to cautious now with just a minute or so left. I don't want this to happen. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Oh, it's been given offside. Referee. There's just a second or so left now. That's why I went back to the mid-block, because I knew they would try those balls over the top. But there we go. We have finally come to the end of this. We have managed our way through it. And we had to make several changes. But at the end of the day, we didn't play as well as we can, but I'm happy with the result. Nervy finish, but this is Burnley for you. They are not as good a team as people in the media are making out. But we have now closed the gap to 5 points on Norwich. And that could always happen. If we have a look at Norwich's form, we were, at one point, we were 13 points behind Norwich, which was interesting. And can we get to... We're now 7 unbeaten. Let's go and find Norwich and have a look at what has happened to them. And I remember saying a few games ago, if they go on a bad run and they lose 2 games, then and we win 2 games, then it all changes. Because they were, at this point, they were 13 points in front of us. They've since had 2 defeats and a draw. And looking at their fixtures, they're not getting any easier either. This title may not be over yet. May not be over. You never know with FM. The problem is all season I've had to battle against the fact that we cannot score goals. And like that match is an example of how difficult it is. And if you don't make changes in game, you will lose games as this Burnley team. And it's like you've got to be on your game. We had to manage our way through that. Initially, we had to make several changes until we found a way to get through them. Then we had to change things back because we had to hold on to a lead. We weren't going to be good enough to get another one. So we had to just then hold on to it, make more changes. It's like grinding out results from a team who originally were favourites to win the league. And how were they favourites to win the league when we're having to really grind out results like we're relegation candidates? Doesn't make much sense to me. But we've done well. We're now on a 4-game winning streak and we've closed the gap to 5 points. And Cardiff are still with us. But interestingly, the playoffs are 61 points. So we are 17 points. So whatever happens, I think we're in the playoffs. Can we stay above Cardiff? We have a tough run of fixtures. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Sheffield. Oh, no, that is Norwich, is it? No, that's us. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United. And then it becomes Reading, Rotherham, QPR, Bristol City, and Cardiff to finish off. That it might come down to Cardiff and whether or not we can beat Cardiff. These 3 are tough. These 3 are tough. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United. Those 4 are easier. And then it's Cardiff. I think it's possible to win the league. Can we do it, though? I somehow can't see it. We still need to close that gap of 5 points. I'm going to rest these boys for a day. Just give them some time off. Bayek can also have a rest. Give him a day off. Because I think fixtures are going to start coming thick and fast. They've got a week off now, so hopefully a day off as well. They'll be in tip-top condition for the weekend. This is the team that's won 4 in the trot, and they're playing okay. I don't want to change the team at the moment because they are playing okay, and maybe I should be thinking about rotation for the next game. I don't know. It's been a week's rest. Is it really necessary to rotate? I don't think so. There is a glitch here with the fixtures as well. In Zealand skin, it keeps switching to a solid block. Sunderland, a very good team. And we do have a week between Sunderland and Middlesbrough. Maybe I need to be thinking about rotation in the middle fixture. That's about stamina. Though these games are now again about stamina. So I'm going to do I was thinking about doing a little tutorial on substitutions and using stamina. And that was a good example of how we used our stamina, our better fitness, to wait to make our substitutions. And where they strengthened, that's what we did. We strengthened in that area of the pitch and then cancelled them out. Vitinho is back in training. That's good news. One of our injury problems is sorted out. Our current injuries, we have too many. Egan Riley's still out for 10 days. Dervisoglu's out for 4 weeks. Cherlanov out for... Oh, he's going to be back in 4 days. And Connor Roberts expected 1 to 4 days. So we're going to get players back to fitness during this next week. No difference, Blob, but it would be nice to win the league. Coming second is never great, although the board just want automatic promotion. It's required. Coming second, that's never been part of my mentality. I want to be first, and yeah, I don't want to come second. But unfortunately, this team at the moment is not good enough to come first. Yeah, you can see they're coming back. Apart from Dervisoglu, they're all going to be back fairly soon, which is good in terms of fixtures coming up, because we're going to need to rest and rotate. And the other thing that... Ooh! Nice looking bunch of players. Who's this Alan Galloway? Striker. Already got 13 finishing and 12 technique. Composure needs a lot of work. He's got good flair. His pace is developing nicely. He's just 15 years old. He looks like a decent player. Looks like definitely a player for the future. Got a decent little player there, Alan Galloway. I think we just sign him up straight away. No, we're not going to play games. We're just going to sign you up as a youngster. And I think that's a bit on the high side, my son, but probably worth it. Yeah, I'm going to go along with that. We're not going to give him any pay rises. Let's just see how he reacts to that. He's happy with that. He's a very good player. You can always tell, looking at his first touch, his technique. If they're good, then he could develop into a very good player. We've got this guy, Ainston. Still lots of development to do. I'll let my assistant deal with him. He'll probably sign him up on a contract which is less than mine. And yeah, I think that striker looks like a very good prospect for the future. It depends, Blob. How long will it go on for till I get sacked, I guess? I mean, it is possible I could still get sacked this year because it is required to gain automatic promotion. And the way I'm having to graft through every one of these games to grind out a result, nothing is guaranteed here. And whilst it's possible we could go on and win the championship if we maintain our form, I could still get sacked if I end up in the playoffs and don't make it through the playoffs. I could get sacked. And so once you get sacked, then that's it. It's over. We'll have to find something else to do on Tuesday and Thursday. But I'm hoping I don't get sacked, because the reason that I'm doing this, Blob, is because I know that people find various aspects of the game difficult to understand. And one of the things that I know people have trouble with is progressing from the Championship to the Premier League. And I know that people have real problems, and I read it so often on forums that they have real problems going from Championship to Premier League. And it is difficult, and there's a knack to it, and you have to change the way you play. You cannot, if you're a good, positive, attacking team in the Championship, you cannot go into the Premier League and play exactly the same way. The only team I've ever known in the Prem do that was Swansea. Swansea actually did that in the 80s. They came up from the Prem. Brentford did it to an extent recently, but Swansea just kept playing the way they played. Very attacking, short passing. They did not change. Most teams will change the way they play when they jump up to the Prem. Cherlanoff is back in training, but he's nowhere near fit. And getting players back now, though, that's a good sign. The game isn't that difficult. The two most important things, Blob, in the game is that you need the best players you can possibly get. And we got an error on the live stream at the moment. Hopefully it won't last too long. But the two most important things, Blob, are that you have to have good players. The better your players, the better you will do. But then you also need a tactic which helps them to work together. And it's just so easy to put a tactic together. But then there's all the other little bits, like scouting, like training. But you can leave those to your assistant. Just buy a good assistant and just leave it to him. And he'll do a very good job. If he's good, he'll do a very good job. But other things like, how do you manage substitutes, which I've just started thinking about a lot. And people just generally don't manage their substitutes very well. They don't think about it. They never think about little things that happen in the game. Like you go into a dressing room at half time and you say to the players, your shooting is absolutely awful, you need to improve. And you can't just leave it at that, because you've given them instructions on how to play. So they're going to follow those instructions. So to help them to improve their shooting, you have to give them some different instructions and help them to do that. So little things like that, people don't quite get. And I see all sorts of things. I see people now at the moment saying that you should substitute your wing backs every game, your central midfielders every game. That's lack of thought. So it's just things like that you need to actually pick up on. It's the little things that matter. How do you deal with complacency? Is it an issue, and what do you do about it? How does the low block work? How does the mid block work? Just understanding those things, and then really the low block is just it's just getting men behind the ball and stopping them being able to attack in the center of the pitch. That's all the low block is, and it means that you've got so many, you're compact and narrow, you've got so many players in the penalty area that it's very difficult for them to get shots on. That's what a low block does. It's the game is not that difficult. The game just like winds you up. I think it just winds you up. Like this Burnley save, if I can get through to the summer transfer window, Burnley they're a rich club. They will probably give me a good 39 million pounds to spend. That is enough to keep me in the Prem. I don't know. I don't need that there. We need match tactics there, and we need match review. I've even just been allowing the assistant to do the training here. He is a very good trainer. He's a very good coach. He's a very good assistant manager. So I don't need to actually do the training in this save. He's perfectly capable of doing it. So why should I have to do it? He does make a mess sometimes, and we need to make sure that we're not allowing him to make a mess and change some things occasionally, but he's perfectly capable of doing it. He's doing a lot of match tactics, match practice. I don't want to do that. We'll do some set piece training, and Twine is a great set piece taker, and we're not scoring many goals from set pieces. Hi, Nick. How are you doing? We're just about to get to our Sunderland game. We've already beaten... who was it? Who did we beat? We beat Blackburn away by a 1-0. Was not easy, but we got there in the end. And now we have to play Sunderland. We've closed the gap on Norwich to 5 points now, which is good. 3 games ago, they were 13 points ahead. So we're doing all right. We're just going to roll on to our Sunderland game. Sunderland, good team. Fighting to get into the playoffs, so we have to take them very seriously. But we also are looking at substitutions, the art of substituting as well today. And I see so many people just like going to their tactic and say, oh, he's tired, let's take him off. Oh, he's a bit tired, he's not having a good game, take off. And you've actually substituted random players all over the pitch. And I've started to think a lot about that lately. And in the first game, the substitutions that we made were absolutely spot on. Blackburn were a threat, but we actually stopped the threat using the substitutions and identifying we were not good enough ourselves to go forward and score again. So let's use our substitutions to nullify any threat that they actually have. And it worked a treat, and we held on just about. Got the 1-0 win, closed the gap to 5 points. Sunderland are in 6th, pretty good team. I don't want to really change the team at this point in time. It's a team that's been doing really well. He wants me to change it. I will make a few changes, I think, because Bayer can come back now as the right back. Harwood Bellis can come on in the centre, so it gives us a better back line. Kirkin, I don't see why he wants to change him. Did you see that he wanted to change him? He wants Kirkin in the centre. He's not good enough to play in the centre. Might be that he wants Matson to play. Cullen and Teller he wants in. Nah. No. I think he's as mad as a church mouse, this assistant manager. We want Mr. Bayek in here. And that's the only change I'm going to make in midfield. Bring Bayek back. We had to rest him last time. Oh, that's really nice of you to say, Nick. That's really nice. I'm only doing it. I don't think I am A, the best presenter in the world, and B, I'm definitely not the best the best at the game. I'd say I'm decent at the game. I'm not the greatest. And I just set it up just because it's my hobby and I wanted to raise money and use the YouTube advertising to raise money for the British Heart Foundation. That's why I'm here, not for fame or fortune. We're never going to get either of those two things. But it's really nice of you to say, Nick. If it makes people happy, that's a job well done, I guess. Do I want to sign this geezer? No, not really. What's going on here? Squad state, Lewis Thomas. Let's get the director of football to do that then. I don't want to be doing all that nonsense. Burnley staff, I hate doing this. Oh, they've got to find a better way than this to do this. Anything that involves money, I'm going to delay it. There's probably better staff out there than those geezers. Delay. Send him. I hate press conferences. The same question, time after time. Ashley Barnes is injured. Do we have... can we send him home? I don't like Ashley Barnes. Just leave to the physio. No specialist treatment or anything. Just leave him to the physio. Owen... Who? Owen Dodgson. Do not sign him. Are you a Rochdale fan then, Blob? Do you actually go to watch Rochdale play? I think if I was living there, I would. I might start going to watch Knapp Hill play next season. That's where I live. So I might start going to watch Knapp Hill play. That'll be kind of fun. But mind you, tickets are probably, even for a club like Knapp Hill, tickets are probably outrageously priced. Like tickets for even the conference where Woking are, they're like £22 for a ticket. So quite pricey. Quite pricey, that, for the National League. And Ashley Westwood, you need to have a little bit of a rollicking, do you? Where's Ethan gone? He's gone very quiet. What's happened to Ethan? Is he still here? No, Ethan seems to have disappeared. Really a Man City fan? Oh, okay. Do you ever go to see Rochdale? I think I might start going to see, if I get time, because I'm usually busy on Saturdays, batch videos. Expectation. The board probably a bit more reasonable than the fans. The fans want us to win, but the board want a draw. £20 at Rochdale. The season ticket was £75. Which league are Rochdale in at the moment? Oh, I've just got the manager of the month. I think that's the first time that's happened. Yes, you should be pleased. Given the nonsense that I've been left with here at Burnley, you should be very pleased. I should be knighted, in fact, for getting them into second. Conference. Yeah, £20, a lot of money for Conference League, isn't it? Although, coming back from Asia, everything seems like a lot of money to me at the moment. Like paying £1 for a Mars bar seems like a lot of money. But probably if you've been living here for 16 years, it doesn't seem that much money. It seems like a lot of money to me, though. There you are, Ethan. You're back. So where are you from then, Nick? Where do you hail from? Oh, we need to have a look at this Sunderland team. I haven't had a look at all this yapping. I haven't had a look at this Sunderland team. Churlinov, 60 minutes. Vitinho, 45. Those are the two I'm interested in. Let's have a look at Sunderland. What does my assistant tell me? My scout. Oh, interesting. Good crosses. Here's the thing. This is the thing. They have very, very good stamina. Now, that puts me in a different position to where I was in the last game, because they have better stamina than us. So I need to be substituting before them. I need to get fresh players onto the pitch before they do. That's one of the things about that stamina will let me know, because they are going to last the game a lot better than we are. However, they're not good tacklers. Their passing is poor. Their work rate is poor, which is interesting. Not good crossers. They're not very strong. And they're not very determined. So I don't know if stamina is actually going to count for a lot with their work rate and their determination being so low. They're poor dribblers. They do not mark well. They don't have good off the... In fact, there's so many weaknesses. How come they are where they are? They are in 6th place. How come they are where they are? They're about this, like Burnley. How come we are where we are? There's so much wrong. I find it difficult to believe they are... It's so interesting. Where are they supposed to finish? Where are they supposed to finish? What's the pundits think? Sunderland. Supposed to finish 10th. They were a promoted club. That's why... interesting. I think we should be quite positive against Sunderland. I don't think we've got really anything to worry about. Let's have a look at their... playing with the diamond. So it's going to get, they're going to want to congest the middle. I'm going to need to focus it out here. Keep it away from the middle this time. And their schedule, how they're getting on. They had a 1-1 draw last time out. But let's hope they beat Sheffield United 2-1. That's a pretty impressive performance. Although they had mixed it up, I think. Yeah, they'd gone to a 4-2-3-1 against... Maybe they play against better teams. They play with a 4-2-3-1. And then we've got... let's have a look here. We've got the focus of attacks. Who are we playing? Not Sheffield United, Sunderland. So they are the red. It's pretty much for a team that plays narrow, although in that game they played a 4-2-3-1. They played wide. Just find a game, so wings, their focus is out wide. If they play that system, they're going to focus out wide. Let's have a look at maybe Luton, where they played the diamond. In the diamond, their focus of attacks... Which one is this? Sunderland are this. So the diamond, their focus of attacks is across the pitch. So there's much more stuff going on in the middle. But when they play the 4-2-3-1, they play wide. So it's interesting. We need to be very watchful of how they play. Let's take Luton in the last game where they played the diamond. And then let's have a look at their pass map. Sunderland. They didn't have a lot of the ball. It's very, very interesting. They didn't, but most of it is down the left-hand side. If we go to the other game where they played with the 4-2-3-1 against Sheffield United, and we have a look at their pass map here. We'll see what the difference is. And that's interesting. Mostly on the right. And then that's really interesting, isn't it? That's really interesting. So in that game, they played the 4-2-3-1, which is definite wing play. So we need to just be careful about how they are going to set up. We are the home team in this fixture. So in terms of my tactic, we need to be going very positive. Not that one, not that one. We need to be playing very positive. And we probably... I'll leave them on support for a while till I see where the focus of attack is. Bayek back in the team will be a big help. Yeah, I don't want to change this. I think this might work for us. So take play for set pieces off for now. They're not great tacklers, but then we're not great dribblers. So run at defense, maybe, maybe not. Press them, yeah, for sure. They don't have the attributes to be able to deal with the press. I'm pretty happy with that, to be perfectly frank. If we get our opposition instructions right now, then wrong one. Then we should. No, I don't want to change the team at the moment. They're well rested. See, again, he's gone cautious. He's weird man. This is a game we should be playing positive. We get our opposition instructions right now. Goalkeeper's tired. That's something we should be looking at. And especially his composure is poor. He's got good concentration, but starting the game tired is never good. So we're just going to close. We're going to close the goalkeeper down. He's very tired. They're in pretty good shape otherwise, and we do know that a lot of the balls will go through their fullbacks. How are they playing? Are they playing the diamond? No, they're going to play the 4-2-3-1. So it's mostly going to be wing play. So one of the things that I want to do is focus play up the middle. there. Because they're going to try and play it out wide. I want to play it then down the middle. And he should be closed down and turned onto his left foot. Easy enough. Elise has right foot and he should be closed down as well. He doesn't have a lot of pace. This is a game I think we should be actually winning. I didn't realise they were a promoted team who were performing out of their skins. He's not great, is he? Anticipations, but we'll just close him down and hard tackle him, I think. Just let him know that we're about. Close him down and hard tackle him. Matate. Matate. I had him in my Preston save before it went wrong. Comes Crystal Palace boy, I think. No, he was at Crystal Palace before I signed him for Preston. Good player, Matate, creative player. Maybe for this level, for League 2 level, he's very, very creative player. This level, probably not. I think we should just tight mark him and turn him onto his left foot. Just tight mark him, take him out of the game, just in case he's a threat. And then Diallo, pace, dribbling. We don't want to get anywhere near him, at least not too near him. We want to just force him to where he doesn't want to go, out wide. He doesn't go out wide. Force him out here and hard tackle him. That's how you deal with him. Just let him go where he doesn't want to go and hard tackle him. So right foot. But don't try to close him down. He's got far too much pace. Just let him have the flanks. And this guy is not 100% fit, although he did score in the last game. He's not very brave. He's not strong. So we hard tackle him and tight mark him. Hard tackle, tight mark him. Take him out of the game. We've got players who are capable of doing that. Bayek is more than capable of doing that. And he's actually playing on the left, isn't he? So we want to force him out wide as well. And we want to hard tackle him as well. Good pace again, so we don't want to get too near him. So we'll force him onto his left foot and hard tackle him again. And then Rod Stewart, or Ross Stewart. I am sailing. So we want to... He's actually not that good a player. I think you'll just tight mark him and left foot. Not even have to bother with his foot. Just tight marking him should be enough. He's not that good a player. I'd be very surprised if we don't beat Sunderland. I think we but I have to remember that they do have very good stamina, and that it may be that we're going to have to 55, 60 minutes that we will have to I don't know why I'm saying this to them, because they don't actually have that good a relationship. Whether I've got faith in them or not is irrelevant. And it's raining, so the fact that we are playing at a higher tempo should actually work in our favour. And hopefully we can retain possession and score some goals in this game. Please, FM. Emil Hom. Not come in yet, Ethan. Not come in. Oh, chance for Campbell. Was Campbell fouled there, referee? This is happening to me a lot at the moment. Like, I'm getting penalties that are not being given. It's happening a lot to me at the moment. I don't really want to lose to Sunderland today. Especially, like, we're closing the gap on Norwich. If Norwich lose again today, that's interesting to have a look. Who are Norwich playing? This is one of the things that I might, because it's raining, I might have to take out player of defence. Probably not a good idea in the rain. And that's a poor pass. That's very poor. It's totally aimless. Twine, though, picks it up, finds Brownhill. I don't know if Brownhill is actually suited to that right wing duty. He's not turning on the style out there. He's a plenty of opportunity. But then none of this team are turning on the style. That's a nice ball, though, into Campbell. Campbell's in. Campbell scores. We're a goal ahead. It's 1-0 Burnley. Thankfully, we've scored an early goal and we are in front. I just want to check on how Norwich are getting on. I mean, again, it was easy to plan this one. You just got to take out the full-backs and the midfield. Really easy to plan this one. They don't really have anything that really we should be worried about. Oh, Norwich 0, Sheffield United 0. If Norwich lose again today, then we will be within 2 points of Norwich. That pressure might start to tell on them if we can keep this. And come on, Twine! It's about time you scored a free kick. He's got 17 free kick taking, and he hasn't scored a free kick yet. And this is winding me up. This game. It's Kirkin. Come on, Kirkin. Let's have a good game from you as well. I paid a lot of money for you. That's a lovely pass. Finds Brownhill. I was having a go at Brownhill just now, but he's doing all right. Bayek, don't do that. Oh. Bayek, I get excited. Let's have a look. Is he on shoot less often? He's on shoot less often already. Corner. Can we get a goal from the set piece here? Into the... Yes, we can. Howard Bellis. It's 2-0. And boy, we are going to take them apart. I think this is the game. We're going to close the gap on Norwich. How about the Duck guy? I haven't heard anything about him yet either. Just waiting on them. There's very little, Ethan, that I can do in terms of transfers. I've only got about, I don't know, what is it, 18,000 in the budget. So I just got to wait until the budgets come in. I hope it's a thrashing. It's about time we scored some goals. And I thought Sunderland were a better team than they're actually showing at the moment. They don't look that good. But then I was quite surprised looking at their player profiles. They don't look great. And we do have another chance. And Campbell's hit the crossbar. But I think he was offside that time. It's all Burnley at the moment. It's like we're totally dominating them. I do like this tactic, this asymmetric 4... I don't know, what would I call it? It's a 4-2... 4-2... 2-2-1. So I don't know. Campbell with another chance and it's onto the roof of the net. Another set piece. Let's have another goal from a set piece. I like set piece goals. We're totally running them into the ground at the moment. And we are fit, fresh, and everything in the garden looks rosy, but that could all change in FM. Nice play. Let's keep the ball. That's all we need to do. And that's not very clever. But we can't score a goal every minute. We'll take 2-0 for now. We're doing very, very well. We're actually... The match momentum is completely our way. Sunderland have just created one chance. But then in FM, that's often enough for them, for the opposition. But nicely done. The press is working, but we need to stop giving the ball away. Maybe I need to slow down the passing a little bit now. It's stopped raining. So let's just put our foot on the ball now for a minute or two. We'll just slow it down for a little bit. Put your foot on the ball and just keep it. You don't need to go hell for leather. Bear in mind that their stamina is better than ours. If we can just slow it down, put our foot on the ball, and that was just wide. Oh, some of our finishing is diabolical. It's so bad. And it looks like Norwich are still drawing with Sheffield United. That's a big result. That we'll be like, if this stays the same, I just hope that Sheffield United can get a goal. We'll just be 2 points behind. Oh, and another chance. Yes, it's 3-0. McNally, yes, 3-0. This is going to be a landslide. Sunderland have already fallen apart. 27 minutes gone. And 2 goals from set pieces. Very interesting. McNally with the first header. Good save, but he's there. 3-0. But we just need to just take control of the game, take control of the ball. That's it. Nicely done. Westwood is worrying me a little bit. Needs to ease off the tackles a little bit. That's it. Put your foot in it. Play it around. Don't do anything silly. Look for support. Brownhill, where you going? Look for support. That's better. Bayek's getting more used to playing this DLP role now. I notice he's supporting a lot better. There's a chance, and it's the side netting. Why did he take a shot? Who was that? Why did he shoot instead of passing it across the box? Sunderland is still maintaining 6th place, though, despite the fact that they don't look like a very good team. They must have got off to a really good start. Norwich are still 0-0 with Sheffield United. And if they actually beat Sheffield United, they'll probably seal the playoff spots. But I'm hoping that Sheffield United get at least a point. That would be so cool. But we just need to do what we're doing. Just hold on to this game. We look like we're a much better team. Nice work in defence there. Just hold on till half-time, boys. That's fine. That's not a problem. We'll deal with those all day. And our pass map is looking very nice. There's lots of stuff going on down the left, which is where we're attacking. Of course, Kirkin is more of an attacking wing back. It's a long punt forward that's going nowhere. And Sunderland have come into the game a little bit towards the end of the first half, but it's probably too little too late. We're just keeping possession. We have 63% of the possession. That was a poor pass. Who was that? We just need to continue what we're doing. Good tackle. Here's Campbell. Campbell. Oh, come on, Campbell. Really awful that was. We had a chance there to really break them. Good tackle again, but he's got to have to recover. They've got into space. This is what I didn't want. And I thought they were going to score there, but poor finish. They're even worse than we are at finishing. At the moment, it's still 0-0 then with Norwich. Nothing happening on the Norwich front. We are totally dominating this game. And I'm going to say, yeah, we've had a lot of shots on target. Well done, I'm pleased. And they have. So let's have more of the same. Let's keep the pressure up on them. I am going to... what I'm actually going to do... I'm not going to do anything, actually. I thought I was going to up the pressure in the press, but we're pressing enough. We're keeping the ball. That's all we need to do at the moment. We don't need to exert ourselves at a high tempo. You can see that they've come back into the game. They've changed their way of play somehow. The thing is about FM, I don't know how they've changed their style of play. It's very difficult to see how they've actually changed their style of play. They've gone to... that's still the same. They are attacking down the left-hand side. And Bayer... I was going to put him on a defend duty. He doesn't need to be marauding up the pitch. And if they're attacking down the left-hand side, let's close it down. Let's make sure that they can't do it. And nice ball over the top. Campbell in space. Oh, Campbell. What a chance. What a chance. We're coming back into the game now, and that's interesting that we've taken control of the game again. It's just that one thing that you do that makes a big difference. We're now back in control. I have to make substitutions because I have to bear in mind that they're fitter than us. But this guy, Aji Elise, we need to be looking at him because he's having a shocker. So we need to, first of all, find out about Aji Elise. He's he's the left back. He's having an absolute shocker. So the first thing I want to do is to focus the play down the right. let's make his life a misery, and I actually don't want to do anything else other than that. We'll keep Bayer on defend because he's doing a very good job there. And I need to just check again. Let's confirm that change. Down both flanks. That's where we need to make our changes, down both flanks. So, have we got someone who can come on for Brownhill? Possibly not. I don't have a right winger. Vitinho can come on instead of Brownhill. Loughton can come on for Bayer. See, I don't need to score goals, so I can make sure that defensively we are solid. I don't know I have Maatsen who can come on for Kirkin. Now we've got very fresh players. I've got a fresh player here, Westwood and Bayek. Bayek is tired-ish. Westwood is not looking tired at all. So my last substitution I'm going to leave for now. Just to... or the last two I'm going to leave for now. Just to make sure they've come back into the game a little bit. They're still looking to... I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Bayek on a defend duty. Just to take that space away. But we've managed to win the ball, and here's Zauri. That is a dreadful pass. An absolute dreadful pass. And Loughton, Westwood. Westwood looks fine. He's controlling the game in midfield. He's having a good game, Westwood, despite his only 6.9 rating. Bayek is having a very good game. But he's getting tired, and I don't want them to have a tired space there. Who was that? That was Campbell, was it? So we look at their focus of attacks down the wings. Don't really need to worry too much about the central areas. McNally is doing fine. Christian Bayek is very, very tired, though, so it would help, I think, to bring somebody else in here. We're going to bring on Bastian, put him in there, and maybe we're going to change Harwood Bellis for Kevin Long. So we've got fresh legs all over the pitch at the back, and that should be enough now to win the game. Whatever they do in terms of attacking subs, we have got fresh legs on at the back. They've played well in the second half. They've outplayed us in the second half, but our focus has been on just winning. And with 15 minutes left, we're still 3-0 up. And it won't even matter if they get one back here. And that's a good shot, but a good save by Muric. Good save. I'm just going to make some more little changes now. I'm going to go to a low block. I'm going to move Campbell into this position if I can. So, so hard to move him into a new position. Oh, can I get him over there? Ah, thank you. And I'm going to put Bastian on a defend duty. Play with a low block. We're going to come off the press, conserve energy, slow the pace down. Looks good to me, and hopefully now just see out the game. I don't know about a masterclass, Bob. Somehow we're managing to grind out results, that's all. And Norwich are still drawing. Norwich are still 0-0. So we will probably end the day 3 points behind Norwich. 4 games ago, we were 13 points behind Norwich. I'm going to go back to a cautious approach now. and tie up the... Got no one... Tie up the game now. Don't need to do anything. I don't need to score any more goals. We've got 3. That's enough for me, Tom. And that's a poor cross. Muric will deal with those all day. And nicely done, boys. Nicely done. That, well, I don't know what that was. Of course, I think in this, I don't want them to play out of defence either. Just get rid of it. I don't want them to make mistakes out there when they're tired now. Just punt it up the field. Just defend well. Not like that. Oh boy. Probably do need to actually play a defence. I was thinking about that because I want them to slow it down now. And Coventry, Sunderland have played very well in the second half. I think we've counted what they did sufficiently. But I think they've played very well. Give credit where it's due. I do want to play out of defence. And I do, yeah, we'll keep it shorter. We just need to hold on now. It's very, very simple. Hold on to our lead. And that should be very easy with 10 minutes to go. There's another long punt upfield. We're not winning these balls in the air, but then we're not very good in the air. Matate looking for the creative pass. He's not good enough to do those. Here's Vitinho. I've told, like, every time I say dribble less, Vitinho dribbles. Stop it, man. Good tackle. But this doesn't look very good, actually, with 6 minutes left. I have to demand more. This does not look very good. So try and sort Vitinho out. He's on a winger role. I want him on a... Let's put him on a wide midfielder. Dribble less. Take fewer risks. Hold position. And time is running out for you, Sunderland, I'm afraid. Oh, Norwich have beaten... Ah, that's a shame. Norwich have gone ahead. Norwich... No, I don't think I was ever worried about the comeback blob. Although they have made it 3-2, have they? They have played very, very well in the second half. But they have got 2 minutes now to actually draw the game. And I'm going to berate the team if I can. This is shocking. And Kevin Long, I brought on to shore up the defence. He's had an absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. Brought him on for fresh legs to shore up the defence. Dreadful. Maatson at left back. Terrible game since coming on. So... whilst the substitutions were well intended, they didn't actually work. But we should be able to see this out now. There's just a minute left, and it should be game over. Come on, Vitinho. Let's get an... That's a terrible pass again. What is going on? We're giving the game away. That's what it looks like to me. They're not earning it. We're just giving it away. They're being told to hold the ball, and they're just giving it away. It looks terrible. The referee! He's not giving it again. And here comes Sunderland. Are they going to get an equaliser? That would be really weird. I'd be very annoyed. There's just like 30 seconds to go. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So this is a bit nervy at the end. And that's it, we've made it. Just about, after dominating the first half. It was absolutely dreadful. They need to be told. They need to be told. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Zauri, 6.3. He might have to be dropped for the next game. He's had 2 poor games. But we are still 5 points behind. Cardiff have gone with us. Middlesbrough have fallen a little bit behind because they lost. So it looks like it's going 3 ways now. The 2 places are between 3 clubs. That's what it looks like. We have secured a playoff spot. The board, are they going to say anything about that? Nah, they're not interested in the playoffs. We can see the club climbing the table. They can see the club winning the league. Huh. Okay, guys, it's 10 o'clock now, and that was Blob a little bit too close for comfort. Maybe I got complacent. Maybe that was the issue. Because if you get complacent in this game and you don't have the best team in the world, then it can bite you. And maybe I just got complacent when I went 3-0 up and thought it was home and dry. I didn't really pay enough attention to what Sunderland were doing. Lesson to be learned there. But we won the game, and that's all that counts. I'm going to call it a night now. We'll come back for the next few... see, this Zealand skin does that with the fixtures. We'll come back for Middlesbrough and Sheffield United next. 2 very big games. If we can win those 2, then who knows, perhaps we can overtake Norwich. Those 2 games are the big games, the season-defining games they are. Middlesbrough and Sheffield United. I'll call it a night, and thank you guys for coming. Pleasure to talk to you as always. I hope you've had a good time, and Ethan seems to have disappeared. Although maybe he's got a way of hiding from the participants list. Have a good night, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Don't forget the Benfica video tomorrow. He's still there. Okay, have a good night, Ethan. Have a good day tomorrow. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Tuesday, my friend. Have a good one.